In each episode of this series, I will offer an applicant a blind choice of either a pleasant experience, a treat, or a darker trick. Following advertisements in the press, over 1,000 people applied online. All were sent a card saying they were being considered, but none of them knew if or when they were going to be chosen. These are the people I've selected, they just don't know it yet. Welcome to Trick or Treat. Tonight's participant is David, a 37-year-old single actor originally from Scotland but now living in London. He dislikes moths, likes the Kaiser Chiefs, hates astrology, is probably the greatest stage actor of our generation and is widely known as a Time Lord. As usual, we've left our images around as clues he's about to get involved. David is on his way to a day's filming and has been collected from home and brought to the unit base on location. As ever, his first port of call is the makeup wagon. What he doesn't realise is that we got there first. The makeup artist is in on the act, and as well as installing a number of hidden cameras, we're quietly hiding next door. My hand is resting on the light switch.
I got it for Christmas and I've played it every day.
Do you think it does make you rain?
I think...
Oh, hello.
Oh, it's been doing this all morning. Hang on a sec.
David.
Hi.
David, you expressed an interest in coming on the show.
Sure.
I'd love to use you.
Thanks.
You may know how the show works. You have a choice of 2 cards. One says trick.
Yeah.
One says treat.
Yeah.
If you pick the one that says treat, it'll be something nice. If you pick the one that says trick, then it won't be.
Yeah.
Do you want to play?
Sure.
Excellent. I need you to sign your contract.
Oh, wow. In blood?
In pen.
This could be anything you're getting to sign. You see
Yeah.
the trust I'm handing over to you here?
Thank you. That's it. We'll fill out the rest for you.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Point to the one you'd like. Okay, I won't let you see. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it improves your... doesn't make you more clever, but it just improves memory, definitely.
Yeah. Sure.
I've invited David to join me at a country house in Hertfordshire where, without using any tardies, I'm going to show him a different way to travel through time and space. So which doctor were you growing up with?
Tom Baker and then Peter Davison.
I've got exactly the same age as me.
Yeah.
Can I give you that for a second? Hold
Yes,
your
you can.
left hand. Fantastic.
Right.
I'm assuming then the whole idea of time travel and all of that was an appeal as part of liking Doctor Who.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate superpower, isn't it?
It is. You picked a treat card.
Did I?
Yes, you
Good,
did. You did.
good.
So you can breathe a sigh of relief there. And the treat that I'd like to give you is an experience of a sort of time travel. I'm going to begin by taking you back to a very specific date
Right.
and a very specific time,
Right.
and ask you for things that can be verified. All right? So that's what we're going to do. First of all, thank you very much for coming along and doing this. Look at me now and just sleep. Now you can stand and relax and just let yourself drift down. Genuinely, just with my voice just there in the centre of your head and floating around you, and just genuinely start to relax as you stand. And I'm going to move a chair behind you. I'm going to take your hand and with your eyes closed, let's sit you down in that chair right behind you. You keep hold of the envelope. I'm going to put your hand there, and as you relax, as your hand stays right there, that hand doesn't need to come down any more quickly, that it takes you to just drift and sink away at your own rate and speed. And I'd like you to be aware of the envelope that I've given you, and just to keep that hand that's resting on it, continuing to rest on it. And what I'd like you to do for me, David, is to imagine yourself in a hotel corridor with doors on either side of you. And as you just begin to picture that in your mind, you're going to start to move as if you were being pulled backwards, slowly at first, through that corridor. I want you to be aware that this corridor takes you back through time. Now, as you hear my voice, you start to move, but this time you feel there's a real pull. You begin to feel it building like a G-force as you move backwards through that corridor, and those doors just start to whiz past you, and you start to see the 60s go past. You'll even notice a change in the decor of the corridors, and then you realize you're going back through the 50s. You feel it picking up speed, and you really feel that inside of you, pulling you back through the corridor faster and faster. Can't even keep track of the doors now. Difficult to keep track of the years, finding yourself going back through the wartime, through a sense of that period, and then you stop there. As you come to a halt, you look at the sign on the door, you see that it says September the 29th, 1938. Step through the door. Now, you're in a place called Chester Square. It's 1938. I want you to give me a sense of what you're first aware of.
There's a road.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a car that's stopped. There are lots of people. There's been an incident with the car. And anxiety amongst them.
So there's a lot of emotion. Okay.
It's a woman.
And what happened?
The car stopped and there was a bit of a hullabaloo.
Okay.
It's about her. It's something she's done or something she represents.
And as you look around the square, is there any buildings?
The church.
So there's a very strong emotion coming from this crowd towards this one woman. Here's what I want you to do. I'd like you to slide from where you are. Find yourself going back through the door. This time you're going to move forwards. And to shoot forward now, coming right up to the present day, and when you get there, you feel yourself waking up. Chester Square means nothing to you. It's just one of many, many squares in London. Just open up the envelope. Just pull it straight out. Don't turn it over quite yet. Just pull it out. So this is a newspaper.
Yeah.
From September the 30th, 1938. There is an article on the front page of that paper, which, if you turn it over, I've put a couple of arrow stickers there. Can you read that out?
Crowds of women rejoicing at the news from Munich cheered Mrs. Neville Chamberlain for several minutes last night as she left St Michael's Church, Chester Square, London, where the Archbishop of Canterbury had addressed a broadcast service. As Mrs. Chamberlain appeared at one of the doors after the service, a great crowd were waiting to cheer her. By the time her car had arrived, they had grown to several thousands. As she stepped into the car, they surged round her, cheering continuously.
Oh, interestingly, the first thing you went to was the image of a car.
It really was,
with loads of people around it. It's so important I hadn't told you that story.
Not at all,
told you what
no.
happened. Listen, I'm going to stop there, but thank you very, very much. That's fantastic, really interesting. Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
I wasn't enjoying being amongst those people. I was quite glad when I was told to go back into the hotel corridor again. That felt like a relief. I think probably the scientific logic of it would indicate that Derren's a witch. I'm happy to go with that.
After going backwards in time, I want to move on to the more philosophically interesting area of travelling forward in time. And to do that, David's going to have to pretend to read someone's mind. I'm going to have you project yourself forward in time, 20 minutes, and tell me something that's going to happen.
Right.
All right? Let me take your arm. Just relax, look at me, put your feet flat on the floor. In a little while, we're going to leave here, we're going to walk out onto the street. You're going to go up to somebody in the street, and you're going to have them draw a picture. And you can choose anybody you like. Now, what you're then going to do is to pretend to read their mind. And what I want you to do in a second is to project yourself forward to the point that at the end of that trick, they will turn their drawing around and show you what they've drawn, okay? And I want you to see in the future what it is that they're going to draw. Okay? Mm-hmm. Good. Now close your eyes for me. I'm going to put your hand up there. That hand will not come down any more quickly or slowly than it takes you to begin to get a sense of what that is. You don't have to think about it, but you're just imagining them with that drawing. You can see in your mind whether it's a man or a woman. You pretended to read their mind. You get it right, And then they turn it around. And at the point your hand touches the table, you'll have a clear sense of what it is. Just open your eyes for me. Remember what that is. I'd like you now to go and stand in the corner, just behind you. You can then draw what you're thinking of. I will not look. So stand there with the wall behind you, facing into the room, so you know nothing. You look over your shoulder, and I'll look over here. Nice and large and clear. When you're done, just fold it up, put it straight in your pocket, and please, no cameras directly on that. When you've done it, don't show anybody. Fold it straight up, put it in your pocket. Lovely. Done that? Mm-hmm. Excellent. Let's go. There should still be some people around. It's 20 to 4.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Let's go.
This is quite odd. I am quite freaked out by this.
David's now going to act out the mind reading he imagined 20 minutes ago to see if a random member of the public will draw what he foresaw that they would.
What sort of person should I be looking for?
Entirely up to you.
I have a blank canvas.
A blank canvas.
Let's do it. Maybe down here?
Yes.
No.
No?
I'm not feeling a psychic bond.
Okay.
There's someone. We're not rolling. Are we rolling? Excuse me. You don't have 5 minutes to let me try and read your mind, do you?
I'd love you to.
Would you? Yeah. Brilliant. I found someone. What's your name?
Claire.
Claire, I'm David. It's lovely to meet you. This is Derren.
Hello, I'm Derren.
He's a sort of witch. Don't worry about that.
Come up here and we'll put a microphone on you and we'll do
David's
that.
going to read your mind. I'm going to stand you there facing David, and David there facing Claire.
Yeah, good.
Now, this is very simple. I've been teaching David some of my mind-reading skills, and he is, in a moment, going to read your mind as you focus on a picture or an image or something. Now, I need you to start doing that now. All I'd say is, as you do it, make the image very clear, very bright, very vivid. Try not to change it and mess it around. If you happen to be thinking of like a house or a stick man, change it, think of something else. Now I'm going to ask you to draw this before we do anything. David, you obviously mustn't look at what Claire draws. So just get a pen and paper. Nice and large and clear, please. David, look the other way. And you also, as you can't tell from the sound of the pen or anything.
I can't hear anything.
You can't even hear anything now. I can, I've got quite good at this. But I've no idea.
Okay, I've got
Done?
it.
No, just hold the whole thing up against yourself. Right, can David turn back round now? Lovely. Oh, well, you don't dip dirty fingers. Lovely.
Okay.
Okay, all right, here we go. So, Claire, you're focusing on the image. Now start sending that picture across, and at the same time, in your mind, just scream the name of the thing over and over again. Make that image, Claire, really big and bold and bright. Now, David, as you're doing this, are you getting a sense of animal, vegetable, or mineral?
I think it's living. I think it's a living thing.
All right. Now, don't say yes or no, but you've given away probably a nice yes then from that.
And I think it's a furry animal, like a pet, and it's I think I know what it is. I think it's a cat.
No, is it? Can it?
Yeah, it is.
Clue?
This is the worst drawing ever, but it definitely is a cat.
That's really good. Well done.
Really good. It's appalling. I'm supposed to be an art student.
It's not. Claire's a fine arts student.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What year? Congratulations. Look, I'm going to ask you a few questions about it, so just stay put for a second.
Okay.
Well done, though. Congratulations. Let's step out.
I can't understand possibly at all how he would have been able to grab that from me. Well, it was pretty strange when he said that he thought it was something furry. It was quite difficult for me not to laugh, actually, just because I couldn't believe he'd actually got it.
So this is Claire's drawing, which is quite freaky. Well, I'm just going to show you, because I'm really quite freaked out by this. There's not much to choose between them, really. It's the tail's going the same way, even the sort of slightly devilish, the devil horn ears, which as I drew them, I was thinking, they don't look much like cat ears, but she's done exactly the same thing. But I wasn't expecting it to be quite so bang on.
Now that I've shown David that his own abilities can place him backwards or forwards in time, I try one final game with him. I want David to try and predict a future event that will appear in his daily newspaper, The Guardian, and for this, he's going to try some automatic writing, whereby he can let his subconscious mind express itself without rational interference. I need him to be as relaxed as possible, so to combine this with the opportunity of seeing David in a close-fitting wetsuit, I've decided to give him the experience of a flotation tank. For 45 minutes, David relaxes and relaxes and slowly enters an altered state of consciousness. When he seems most receptive, he's gently helped out of the pool, maintaining an optimum trance state in order to write his prediction. Okay. I want you to, first of all, sign your name at the top of this piece of paper. I shall dictate if you can write. My name is David Tennant. I am now about to begin automatic writing and will predict events that will happen and be reported by the Guardian newspaper on Thursday, the 17th of January, 2008, 3 days' time. And now, David, I'd like you to look up at some point that you can comfortably focus on there. I'm going to talk to you. You are going to continue to write. When I tell you to start, as you write, you're going to pay no attention to what you're writing. So just begin that process now. Tell me your plans for the future.
It would be good to be happy, family, health.
Earliest childhood memory.
Earliest childhood memory.
Keep going. Keep writing.
Earliest childhood memory. I don't know, it's difficult to think.
Any country in the world, where would you go if you go on holiday tomorrow?
I've never been to Australia. I'd like to go to Australia.
Go down the page a little bit. That's good. Keep going. If it's your 80th birthday, would you have a big event, a big bash?
I don't know. I think I'd be tired if I was 80.
I'm going to ask you to stop there. I'm going to take the pen from you. What I want you to do is to fold up that sheet of paper. Fold it up, and you're going to place it in the envelope that's there. Lovely. We'll seal that up. Great. And then, I'm going to give you another envelope. I'd like you to fold your one up very small and place it in this one, just so there's no danger of it coming open by accident, or also so you're not tempted to have a quick peek at what you... Okay. That's yours to keep. You can put it in your pocket for now.
It's a bit wet.
Is it a bit wet? No, that's all right, lad. But just please, when you take it home... In fact, let's stand up. We're done here. When you take it home, please resist the urge to open it.
Right.
And one thing I would say, David, you said you read the Guardian newspaper.
Yeah.
We're going to meet again on Thursday.
Right.
On that Thursday, please promise me you will avoid reading any newspapers or catching the news, catching it on the radio by mistake or anything until we meet and we can find out together what's in the paper that day. Thank you so much for being such an amazing sport with us.
It's been a pleasure.
You've been absolutely fantastic. And that's all for now. And I will see you.
See you on Thursday. See you then.
Thank you again. It's now Thursday morning, and 4 days ago, David Tennant made a prediction as to what might appear in today's Guardian newspaper. He placed that prediction in a sealed envelope inside another one, and he's kept that safely with him all week. I've sent him off to buy today's Guardian from any newsagent of his choosing anywhere in London, and then to bring that newspaper back to me without looking at it. We sent a camera to keep an eye on him.
Guardian, 17th of January, 2008. Mission accomplished. Let's go. Thank you.
So if you could lose these supplements before we do anything, just drop them on the floors. Lovely. Okay, so it's Thursday the 17th of January. You're happy this is today's Guardian?
I've just bought it.
You have just bought it?
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you very much indeed. Now you've also got the envelope on you, which you've been hanging on to for a few days now, for 3 days since Monday. Not tampered with? No. Look, we're not expecting this to be perfect block capitals. I, David Tennant, predict X, Y, Z. It's the nature of automatic writing. It's going to be squiggly and difficult to decipher, but we will decipher what we can find, and I'm going to write up here the sort of 4 or 5 things that we can kind of make sense of and compare them to what's in the paper. All right? So if you can open that for me, and I'm going to get this down as well, and ask you to take out there's an envelope inside the envelope, isn't there? So if you take out the envelope inside, and pull that out, fantastic. If you just take out the prediction inside, but without actually unfolding it and reading it just yet. Fantastic. Okay. I'll give you the camera. If you want to just unfold that for me, and we'll start going through it. And if you can read it as best as you can, the camera should be able to pick that up.
My name is David Tennant. I am now about to begin automatic writing and will predict events that will happen and be reported by the Guardian newspaper on Thursday, 17th January 2008, 3 days' time.
Okay, this is the point where it sort of starts to get a bit, a little bit messy. We can ignore anything that clearly refers to things that were going on in your head just to do with the questions that I was asking. It'll take a while for the genuine automatic writing to kick in.
I can't read any of that.
Australia. I think I asked you about where you wanted to go. I think we're still on the
Holidays. I don't know what that is. Agawala or something? Or?
That doesn't seem to relate to anything. Equally doesn't need to mean anything either, but let's write it down, so at least we can start writing down things that we can read. And we can always go back and look at those other ones afterwards. Is it A? What does that look like? AG?
A-G-A-W-A-L-L-A? Something file? Or tile?
You think tile? You know, you're writing something like tile. Cold cat.
Face something? That's face, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like face, isn't it? How much of this do you remember at the time?
No, by now
where were you with you were just scribbling?
I was just scribbling.
Cold cat
Cold
again.
cat.
Wife.
There's crab apple.
There's no sense of really a story yet here.
Poppy.
Poppy.
Scrabble. There's Scrabble.
Scrabble. That doesn't look like Scrabble. Will Sue. That looks like online to me.
Yeah. Online Scrabble. Somebody will sue online Scrabble.
There you go.
That's almost a sentence.
Actually, I know what this is. I have looked at the papers this morning.
Right.
That does look like a complete statement. All right, so there's nothing on the front page that matches with this. I'm going to let you go through. There is a...
Well, there's Scrabble.
This is it.
My brother's Facebook homage to Scrabble spells
Face.
lawsuit.
Now,
Face.
Face you had quite a few times.
Face.
This is a story of the makers of Scrabble suing the online version that's on Facebook for copying them.
I go what? Nearly.
Tile, of course.
Tile.
Cold cat. Cold cutter. That's really good. And wife.
Oh, there's wife across the top, you see?
Those are the words that are on the picture. Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it. There's the guy. There's his name. Face, clearly Facebook. Tile, cold cat, cold catter. David, you've been fantastic. Please take this with you and do check it against obviously any other copies.
I'm going to now start working on some lottery numbers.
Well, perhaps we'll
And,
team up for that.
Yeah, I'll see you in Hawaii. No, it's not something I'm familiar with. Predicting the future. It's something I'm dabbling with for the first time, if I'm honest, and probably the last. But I'm very glad that it's been brought out of me in such an exciting way.
Well, to win loads of Derren Brown goodies and find out more about the show, go to channel4.com/Derren Brown. Still on the way, at 11:05, Gordon Ramsay's meatballs are put to the test in the return of the F word. But next, Mark needs a girlfriend, and fast, in Peep Show.